Well, the weather is making for a bit of a mixed bag as Americans get ready for Thanksgiving, whether that means traveling or running to the store to grab that one last thing you forgot on the grocery list. If you're headed west, you could see some snow. And here on the East Coast, we're talking rain. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for watching 13 News Now at noon. I'm Dan Kennedy.
And I'm Ashley Smith. We do have team coverage when it comes to the forecast, the road conditions, and what it's like at airports right here in Hampton Roads. Bethany Reese has the latest traffic conditions. Adriana De Alba is live at Norfolk International Airport. But first, we check in with meteorologist Tim Pandages. Hey, Tim.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we're tracking that batch of rain that held together a little bit better off to the west as it pushed east than was expected, but it's on its way out of here. But let's get over to Bethany now for a check on the roadway.
All right, thank you so much, Tim. Right now I'm monitoring an accident on 264 westbound. This is in Virginia Beach near Military Highway. You can see they've got one lane closed here. Traffic still moving fine, but there's congestion all across our area this morning, so pack your patience, especially if you're headed toward the HRBT on the western bound side. See all that red on your screen? Traffic kind of moving at a crawl here. And if we go down to Chesapeake, we got two incidents on 64 west and east. This is at the Great Bridge exit. This is on 64 East, right near one of the exits right before you get to the high-rise bridge on both sides here. But you can see traffic, even though it's red, moving along fine, just heavy traffic here this morning. Otherwise, this morning, VDOT's trying to help you out. They've lifted lane closures in most areas on major highways to help you out. Dan, Ashley?
Okay, Bethany, thank you. Well, people aren't just hitting the road for the holiday. They're also taking to the skies. The weather is causing an issue for some travelers. Take a look at what's called the misery map. You can see there are some issues out west, especially out in Denver, Colorado.
Adriana De Alba joins us live from Norfolk International with the latest on how travelers are faring here in Hampton Roads.
Hi, Dan. Ashley, well, so far it's looking great here, which is good news. Things are running really smooth, and we're not seeing any reports of flights being canceled out of Norfolk International, which is great. But I love those holiday traditions, and if you're flying out today, you'll want to make sure you give yourself enough time. TSA recommends you give yourself at least 2 hours from the point where you leave your house and get here. You give yourself 2 hours. You don't want to be late to that Thanksgiving dinner. So get out there, have some fun. And for now, we're live in Norfolk International here in Norfolk. Adriana De Alba, 13 News Now.
And let's check over in the peninsula at Newport News Williamsburg International Airport. Hey, things running smoothly there right now. All the flights appear to be on time, but do make sure to check with your airline before you head to the airport, as that could change.
And you can check gas prices, traffic conditions, and flight delays and cancellations on 13newsnow.com. Just click the menu button and scroll down to weather and traffic. You'll find everything you need to know right at the click of your mouse.
Well, breaking news now. Michael Brown, one of the most wanted men in America, is now behind bars. He was arrested this morning in Virginia shortly after the FBI added the 22-year-old to the most wanted list. They did that yesterday. The ex-Marine, though, has been on the run for weeks, accused of killing his mother's boyfriend in Franklin County. That happening just days after leaving his post at Camp Lejeune. We're told his mother told police her son was the shooter. Officials just wrapped up a news conference moments ago with their update on the efforts.
This has been an intense manhunt for the past 18 days, covering 3 states and multiple surrounding jurisdictions. I am thankful this situation has come to a successful closure without no injury to the public and law enforcement personnel.
Authorities took Brown into custody this morning at his mother's home in Franklin County. A 48-year-old man shot and killed in Newport News. Now police are investigating this as a homicide. Happened on 24th Street this morning.
And Megan Shin has been covering the story all morning long. She has the latest on what happened.
I'm devastated. I'm shocked.
Neighbors living along 24th Street say they woke up surprised to find someone shot a 48-year-old man along their block.
Life is so short, you know, and people need to come together.
In Newport News, Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
In Portsmouth, police are investigating a shooting that left one person hurt. Happened on Constitution Avenue just after midnight. No word yet on any suspects or how the victim is doing. But if you have any information on either shooting, give the crime line a call.
Well, Norfolk police need your help finding this person wanted in connection with a home burglary. It happened Monday afternoon at a home on Cape Henry Avenue. Once inside, the crooks took several items. If you know anything about this crime, give police a call. Crime line number 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP.
Turning now to an update on an armed robbery at a stop and go in Gloucester County. Now, this happened last week, and days after that robbery, someone robbed a shop and go in Norfolk. Investigators now say the same 17-year-old boy from Hampton accused in that robbery was also involved in the Gloucester County crime. The teen is now in custody.
The House Judiciary Committee scheduled its first public impeachment hearing for December 4th.
Still ahead, how it will look versus the last 2 weeks of the House Intelligence Committee's hearings. House Democrats are preparing for the second phase of the impeachment inquiry.
As a new report sheds light on what could be a crucial aspect of the Ukraine scandal timeline. ABC's Inez de la Cuterra is in Washington with more.
The New York Times reports President Trump was told about the whistleblower complaint in late August, and it wasn't until September the nearly $400 million in military aid to Ukraine was released. But President Trump is still dismissing the impeachment inquiry at a campaign rally in Florida Tuesday. The new hearings will look different from the ones held by the House Intelligence Committee. Trump and his legal team will be allowed to attend. Trump's camp now reviewing the offer. They have until Sunday to decide whether to participate. Inez de la Cuterra, ABC News, Washington.
Rain and snow, that's what millions of Americans are seeing this holiday weekend. You can see the wet pattern as it pushes across the country now.
Tim will tell us all about it, including what we'll see here in Hampton Roads. Plus, we'll show you the conditions Americans are seeing as they get to their holiday destinations.
We're learning more information about the recent increase of vaping-related illnesses. More evidence from the CDC links synthetic vitamin E oil added to illegal THC products to these illnesses. At least 48 people have died and more than 2,000 have gotten sick after vaping.
Well, the FAA now says it will be the only one issuing airworthiness certificates for the 737 MAX jets from Boeing, the new ones. So in the past, the FAA has shared that responsibility with the plane maker. Boeing still says it expects the FAA will end the grounding of the planes sometime next month.
Well, Google fired 4 employees after a staff-organized protest. People were protesting on Monday in San Francisco because 2 workers got placed on leave. The company says they decided to terminate the employees because of violations to data security policies.
Well, a new petition with thousands of signatures was presented to Norfolk City Council last night, and it's the second attempt to get councilors to not sell the land near Harbor Park to the Pamunkey tribe. Councilwoman Andrea McClellan talked about a new state legislative study on gaming laws in Virginia, suggesting that Norfolk has done it all wrong. Council also set up 2 public meetings about the casino deal. Both will happen in mid-December.
2 recycling drop-off centers in Virginia Beach are shutting down because people are using it as a trash dump. What they may not realize, though, that's actually illegal. First Landing State Park Recycling Center and the Oceana Recycling Center will now be closing January 6th because things like recliners, tables, and mattresses are getting dropped off at those recycling centers. For the other centers staying open, they'll have gates and workers making sure things that are being dumped there are proper recycling items. Now here's Tim with the Check Your Forecast.
All right, Dan, Ashley, this image from our sky view pretty much sets the stage for what we've been experiencing this morning. Some rain coming on through the area, held together a little bit.
Right. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Well, as he was talking about, Thanksgiving holiday is looking a little iffy for a lot of the country as that turbulent weather pattern continues to make its way across the U.S.
That's right, and now alerts from 2 major storms span from California all the way to New York, affecting at least 140 million Americans. ABC's Alex Perez has more.
What a difference a few hours can make here in Minneapolis. Now, the storm here in Minnesota will be moving out of the area very quickly, but it is expected to create problems along the way as it moves east. Alex Perez, ABC News, Minneapolis.
Well, you can feel and see the holiday spirit across the area. So coming up next, we'll tell you more about the holiday fun. Welcome back to 13 News Now at noon. Military Circle is getting in the holiday spirit. And on Saturday, the big guy himself, we're talking about Santa, will be there spreading some cheer. So joining me now to tell us all about the fun is Anita Jefferson. Wonderful to see you, Anita.
You too.
So Santa's going to be there. Talk about what he's going to be doing and what else Military Circle has going on. And change, and of course, go see Santa. We really want you to do that. Yes. Anita, wonderful to see you.
You too. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Wonderful. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around for 13 News Now at noon. I'm Dan Kennedy.
And I'm Ashley Smith. And if you're planning on traveling today, you could see some rain on your way in or out of town. But the question is, will it stick around as people run those last-minute Turkey Day errands? Bethany Reese has a look at the roads. But first, Tim's here with your forecast.
Yeah, guys, that rain that we're watching moving through the area now is on its way out. So things will be getting better through the afternoon hours. In fact, the back edge is already cleared the peninsula and much of south side, too. Now it's going to check on the roadways with Bethany.
All right, thanks, Tim. Well, right now I'm monitoring one accident. This is in Norfolk on I-64. It just happened. They had this reversible lane closed near Northampton Boulevard, but you can see they've reopened it, and the accident has moved off to the side. So good news for your commute there. But the roads are wet, and there is some major congestion, especially if you're headed toward the HRBT on 64 West. We've got about 6.5 miles of backup right now on 64 West. If you're headed toward the HRBT, traffic moving at a crawl. There was an accident there earlier. That since is cleared, but that congestion's still there. And in Chesapeake, we have another accident if you're headed toward the high-rise bridge, which is causing the high-rise bridge. It looks like my camera's freezing just a little bit, but I can tell you it's moving, but it's moving slow, especially if you're on the eastern side of things. Looking a little rough out there this morning, so just drive to arrive as well. VDOT's helping you out by lifting some lane closures, but make sure you're safe today and during the holiday. Dan, Ashley.
Bethany, thanks. Great to have you here at noon. Holiday travel is off to a chaotic start as tens of millions of Americans are hitting the roads and a record number of people will be flying.
Yeah, but nasty storms are causing problems from coast to coast. ABC's Trevor Ault has the latest from LaGuardia Airport in New York.
The Thanksgiving holiday is off and running, and for the more than 55 million Americans traveling, Mother Nature is doing no favors.
Nearly 3 million Americans are going to be flying today. If you're one of them, you should get to the airport early. Think 2 hours for domestic flights. And if you're driving, get ready to wait. Traffic's going to pick up starting around 1 this afternoon, with the worst of it between 3 and 7. Trevor Ault, ABC News, LaGuardia Airport.
Oh, if you want to take leftovers with you when you travel, here's a list from the TSA on what you can and cannot pack on the plane. So turkeys are totally fine. So is ham, if you prefer that. Dressing or stuffing, although we know it's called stuffing. But anyway, no matter what you call it, you can bring that on the plane too. But pies, let's go to pies. Oh, they're also okay. Here's the deal though, TSA has the right to check it out and make sure there are no explosives in the pies. So just bear that in mind. Here are the things to leave at home. Mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, you should leave that at home anyway, and gravy or anything that's liquid or anything that's close to liquid.
Okay, well, you know, if you have family coming to town today, you're most likely rushing to get the house guest ready. 60% of Americans will actually be staying with family this week, and a new poll shows the most annoying things that house guests do. You ready for this, Ashley?
Okay.
How about this? Arrive unannounced or without an invitation.
Oh.
That's a no-no. Snoop around the house.
No.
Break host's belongings.
That's happened.
Oh, gotta want to hear this story. Leave a mess when leaving.
Yep.
And be too loud.
Precise.
Okay.
Sounds like reading my book. All right. The National Retail Federation predicts 158 million Americans plan to shop this weekend.
Almost half the U.S. population, but you don't have to wait until Friday for the savings. ABC's Becky Worley has the latest doorbuster deals going live tonight.
It used to be that Black Friday was actually on Black Friday, but free after a mail-in rebate. Other shoppers targeting big-ticket items, everything from washing machines to vacuum cleaners, to maximize the savings, as almost anything you can imagine is on sale starting tonight.
A refinery explosion in Texas explodes, forcing people from their homes in the middle of the night.
Well, just look at the flames lighting up the night sky there. More of this video and neighbor response coming up next. In Texas, multiple explosions rocked a chemical plant, blowing out doors on nearby homes overnight, forcing mandatory evacuations.
ABC's Marcus Moore reports.
Overnight, a massive explosion at this chemical plant in Port Neches, Texas, lighting up the night sky, causing neighborhood evacuations, and powerful enough to blow out windows at homes several miles away.
My dining room ceiling crashing down.
The plant, which is located about an hour and a half from Houston, produces chemical and petroleum-based products and has 125 employees.
I hope that everybody inside the plant is okay. Right now, that's a big concern.
The first call was received at 1 o'clock this morning.
We are pretty much in bed, but it came in two waves. The first one we heard, you saw the light flash. I mean, you saw the light and you felt the house rattle, and it sounded like a thunder in the distance. But about a second or two later, the like a shock wave sort of hit the house. And in my house, it was pretty loud. It was very loud. Mainly because the front door blew in and the door frame blew out.
Mike Tobias works for the local school. He was ordered to evacuate.
So at that point, I thought the house was coming down. And the first instinct was grab the kids. We needed to get out of the house.
Well, it is a cloudy day over the 7 cities. A lot of you seeing rain now. This is a live look from our Skyview camera at Hampton.
Still ahead on 13 News Now at noon, we have some Toys R Us news to share that is breathing new life into the shuttered business. What's the only thing better than getting that perfect gift for your significant other? Well, getting a gift you both can enjoy. A new study shows 74% of Americans have purchased a we gift for someone on their list. That means it's something that benefits both the recipient and yourself. So it really can be better to give than to receive if you get to enjoy that new TV or something like that.
Let me just say, be careful doing that, though. The panini maker, not a popular Wii gift that one year. And it's the big Toys R Us comeback today. Its first new brick-and-mortar store in the U.S. is opening up. Just 17 months after closing all stores, the iconic toy brand will open a new store in New Jersey later today. Today's opening is considered a soft launch, with a grand opening scheduled for Saturday. Toys R Us is also planning to open another store in Houston, Texas soon.
Toys R Us coming back. All right, well, Tim has the final check on your forecast.
That's coming right up.
Time now to get one last check of your forecast. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Ashley. You know, we had some rain come on through the downtown area within the last few hours. Now you look from our Skyview camera over the Jordan Bridge, starting to see some partial clearing out there, too. And that's what we can expect for the trend to be for the rest of the afternoon in the 50s.
Okay, and the turkey trot looking good tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.?
Yeah, looks really good.
All right, happy to hear that.
Oh, Dan. Thank you for joining us for 13 News Now at noon. Our next newscast is this afternoon at 4 p.m.
You get the news all day, 13newsnow.com. Have a great day. And if we don't see you tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving.